Welcome into the CHGO White Sox postgame show, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Welcome into Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm Sean Anderson, host of the CHGO White Sox podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. And for this show, we have the full CHGO White Sox crew. Vinnie Duber joining me on my far left. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's a CHGO White Sox beat writer. And the man in the middle is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's a CHGO White Sox community leader. And Fred wants to give everyone the thoughts and prayers to everyone who watched the game because he watched She-Hulk instead. Sounds like your
spoilers.
weekend.
No spoilers, Fred.
Fred was watching She-Hulk because the White Sox lost. The White Sox fell to the Orioles 4-3 in 11 innings, and they shouldn't have. Let's start off right there. 2 outs, an 0-2 count, a ball hit into the left field foul territory, foul line, past the left field foul line, and Adam Engel drops the ball. Would have been the easy third out of the game, and yet Kyle Stowers stays alive, hits a home run, makes it 3-3, and the White Sox end up losing 2 innings later. What do we make of the game?
They blew it. They blew it, and they blew it bad. That's really all you can say. That would have been the game ender from Adam Engel. Adam Engel, who's in there to do one thing, catch the ball, couldn't do that. Liam Hendricks, who's in there to do one thing, get the save, didn't do that. Again, a lot of folks going off on Liam on Twitter. He's been pretty fantastic the entirety of his time in a White Sox uniform, but not tonight, and he couldn't get the job done. So, you know, when you give a team extra outs, a playoff team is going to capitalize on it, and that's what the Orioles might be. They might be a playoff team. Everybody should be frustrated because this one was ugly.
Hey, Dan apparently got kicked out of the house by his wife because he went nuts. So probably not a good time.
Ruining marriages.
Come on, Dan.
Ruining marriages.
Come on, Dan.
Come on, White Sox.
Be nice to your wife.
I mean, 3 of the 4 runs
Be nice to yourself. Don't watch
scored
the White Sox
today by the Orioles were because of White Sox mistakes. The 2-run home run by Santander was after a Jose Abreu error in the first inning. And, of course, you just highlighted the Adam Engel flub right there. In both cases, the pitcher has to pitch over those mistakes. But after a while, it's too much. Like Jose made another error later in the game where Lance Lynn pitched over his mistake and picked his teammate up. But hey, man, this is just so frustrating to see this team do this. And once Stowers hit that home run, I think you let out a wry chuckle, like, ha, 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 I can't believe this is happening, but it is happening. And that's kind of how I feel. It's like, oh, my God, whatever can go wrong is going wrong for the White Sox. Injured players players who are playing great defensively and offensively get hurt during the game and have to leave in Yoan Moncada. And then when you think you have them all done, 3-2 in the ninth, you get that error, and then Stowers hits that tying home run. It's just rip your heart out. If they would have just won 4-3 in regulation with runs that were scored because the Orioles produced those runs, still would have been hurting, but I would have been like, okay, the Orioles are just a better team today. They won. Today, the White Sox lost this game. This was not an Orioles victory.
Well, if you bear with me through a clunky analogy that I'm about to throw out there, but let's say you're having some ice cream, right?
Delicious.
And it is White Sox disappointment. Your regular nightly bowl of ice cream.
My favorite flavor.
You remember her back in the 90s? I don't know if Sean's old enough to remember this. They came out with the chocolate sauce that you would squeeze on there, and it would harden.
Magic shell.
And it would create a shell over the thing. Tonight, the disappointment that everybody feels from watching that 9th inning, you know, them blowing it in the 9th inning and make a couple errors and stuff like that, that's the hardened chocolate shell. Because right underneath it, same stuff they've been doing at least for the last 2 nights, if not the entire season. Guess what? Another night with double-digit hits, another night with only 3 runs.
Yep.
They really out-hit the Orioles tonight. Orioles outscored them.
With how much dirt they hit with their singles, I feel like it would taste like dirt. It would be dirt ice cream with magic shell on top.
Maybe dirt-flavored ice cream.
Yum. Tastes like White Sox disappointment. And absolutely
And
just
exactly. Fred's
pathetic
exactly right. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? No closer is 100%. It stings bad tonight, obviously, but that's going to happen. Liam Hendriks is might be the best closer in baseball. He's going to do that. Every season there's going to be a night like this. It's the fact that the offense has just stayed the same. Hey, he didn't give up he didn't lose the game right there. It was tied. What happened in the next 2 innings? White Sox couldn't even move that free runner over to third base.
That's literally what I was going to say. It was like the White Sox have opportunities to do some damage in the 10th and the 11th. They didn't move the dude from second.
Right.
Like, I don't like sacrifice bunts, but if Luis Robert can't hit at all, do something. Pinch hit him for Pollock. Make him bunt. Do something, because he was not getting bat to ball late in that game, because you could see he was obviously in some excruciating pain. He swung and he threw the bat because he couldn't hold on with it because he has his right hand holding on for most of the time, and he can't extend that far. It's just
so weird.
Irritating.
I can't remember ever seeing a player go out there and do that repeatedly over and over again.
The closest thing that I think that we can compare it to is Leury Garcia's injury, where it seemingly felt like his lead foot, whenever he was swinging left-handed, was injured, and he couldn't.
His legs were so sore. It ended up being a back, I think, that he went on the IL with. But yeah, it's all connected down there. But
right, you know, you hurt your knee, you put more strain on that, you're going to be overworking your back, and then you're just hurting every single part of your back, and that makes me wonder what is wrong with Luis Robert. We know that obviously he hurt his hand on a slide trying to steal second base during the Tiger series, but at this point, he was out for, I think, about 7 days at one point, got subbed in to be a pinch runner for Eloy Jimenez, then sat out the next day, and then started finally being worked into the lineup again. And at this point, we see him doing this yesterday. Trevor Lyons of Southside Sox ended up, clipping up a video yesterday in the 8th inning of Robert swinging with one hand and his top hand only. So he was doing this yesterday. He was doing it in his last at-bat yesterday, and I don't understand how this guy goes through batting practice today and the White Sox do not take him out of the lineup. It makes no sense to me how they are so overprotective of players and then just let him possibly re-injure himself more. You know what's going to probably help his hand? 100-mile-per-hour fastball 3 times trying to make contact with it. It is absurd at this point seeing players like Luis Robert, who are clearly hurt, continue to go out there and re-injure themselves, possibly, because there's no word yet that he's re-injured himself, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's out tomorrow just with the way that he's been swinging the bat. It is absurd, like you said, Vinny. Just it's shocking to see.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. You ask for what the thought process is. I can tell you that not just Tony La Russa, but everybody in White Sox brass, you use the word overprotective. I would just use the word very, very dedicated to listening to the trainers and taking care of these guys and making sure they're not pushing them too hard, making sure they're not putting them in a position where they would injure themselves further. My goodness, that's been the complaint all year long from a lot of fans, has been, why aren't they playing this player? He has to be able to gut it out, that kind of thing. And now you're seeing the opposite. And when it's so visible, it's very, I mean, for lack of a better word, curious, right? Because I'm sure every day since Luis Robert has come back, they've been monitoring him very closely in terms of what he's doing in batting practice. Because remember, that was the delay.
Right.
That was the delay in getting him back. Was, well, he's fine everywhere else. It's just in bat. It's just when he swings that bat. So they know that that's a problem for him. To see him go out there and swing with the backhand.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I feel like we've seen people swing with just the front hand before on the follow-through. Ooh, they lost the right hand is bothering them a little bit. They're going to swing with the follow-through. Trying to hit it like a tennis racket does not seem like it's going to work one bit.
No, because you're losing stability too. I mean, because then the bottom of the bat is then bottom heavy, so you're just not able to truly just have enough stability on that bat. That ball is going to go straight to the ground.
And most good hitters tell you're supposed to have the bat, the knob of the bat go towards the ball. And if you don't have that bottom hand there, having that top hand, as you said, the stability is gone. Now you can't control the knob as much as you can before that.
You would think that would hurt your wrist more.
Oh,
I mean, and I'm no doctor, but I'm just saying, thinking about what you're talking about, the motion that you're going to have to make with that wrist, you would think that would hurt a little bit more. But obviously, he's doing what he has to be able to do.
And to finish off your analogy, our own Adam Hogue up there says, that's not ice cream under that shell.
We'll let your imaginations fill in the blanks there.
Like I said, it's dirt. With Luis Robert,
Might be worse.
I mean, you could see it could be worse. It can always be worse. Luis Robert, in the at-bats that he had tonight, he had a launch angle of 3 degrees, -8, 31, and -35. So maybe by the 6th inning, he was feeling all right. I'm not sure if this is an injury that comes and goes. Maybe he was having a fine batting practice because it wasn't velocity that was hurting him.
But obviously, I mean, it was something that was lasting, if not the whole game, over the course of multiple at-bats.
Right.
And so there is no world in which the White Sox training staff is watching that and goes, hey, are you okay? And he says no, and they're like, too bad. You know what I mean? There is no world where they are not going to check in on him. You see them walk out to the mound to check on every pitcher every time anything happens. So it remains confusing because obviously he looks hampered in a very significant way. And for them to feel that he is not, or is not bad enough that they have to take him out of the game, it's just confusing. It's curious.
And I would say, while Luis might be saying to the training staff, hey, I'm good, a manager, a bench coach, somebody on the bench says, hey, man, he's not looking good, and you got to protect the player from himself. These players all want to play and don't want to sit out. Luis has sat out a lot this year, and so he's probably feeling like he's letting the team down if he sits out again. But you got to protect him from himself. Like the other day with Michael Kopech. You saw him get injured before he threw his first pitch. Then he talked himself into pitching into the game. 4 batters later, he goes out with the injury. Now he's on the IL. Same thing with Luis. You see him. We have eyes. We can see exactly what's going on with Luis. He's swinging one-handed because he doesn't want the affected left wrist to be in that position to get hurt more. And so if he doesn't want it to be there, that means he is hurt to a point where he cannot play the game at a level that he needs to. And I see somebody say, well, he can play defense. Like, A.J. Pollock can play defense too at a passable, if not above average way, and put bat on ball better than Luis Robert can right now because that man's hurt. We know it. And I don't know if the White Sox just want to have 65% of Luis Robert instead of 95% of A.J. Pollock.
I wonder how much he's even feeling it defensively. We really haven't seen too many throws, but it would be with his throwing hand,
no,
right?
it would be with his catching hand.
No, okay, all right. I'm not sure because I was trying to stand right-handed, but I was just holding a bat wrong in my head.
Just do it like this. Left hand is the White Sox lose.
Thank you. I was batting this way, and it felt like that was the bottom hand, like the hand he hurt.
Oh, yeah,
obviously,
I forgot. You're a lefty,
you know,
so
he's no, because then he'd be catching with it. Okay,
that's a left hand.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't know left from right. I apologize.
Left.
It is just shocking. He injured himself on August 12th.
This is more
sat
shocking,
out
but
until
you don't
August
know left
20th.
from right. Come on,
I do
John.
though. Like I was standing like this, like a right-handed batter
Sure.
for some reason.
Which he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just thought, we can move on. This is just wasting time.
This is great radio.
We do have news or quote coming from Baltimore. Dale Van Schouwen out in Baltimore did talk to Adam Engel. He said, I overran the ball and it came back on me a little bit and I didn't catch it. My job is to come in and play defense, especially late in games. So Engel frustrated with himself, and we noted this during the game. Engel's only played 3 games since the All-Star game. He only started 3 games since the All-Star break. He's come in as a pinch runner. He's come in as a defensive replacement. But this is kind of what we were talking about yesterday, like where I wanted the White Sox to get better. It's depth. I understand Adam Engel's been a very good player for the White Sox, or at least, a capable player for the White Sox over the past couple years. But when you're in a window of contention like this, I think your last outfielder needs to be better than a 4A guy. And Adam Engel is a 4A guy. He's got great speed. He's got the ability to play defense. That speed helps him out there. But his bat is truly hit or miss. It is frustrating to watch him hit sometimes. He's hitting 121 since the All-Star break. And I just wish the White Sox could get a little bit more depth, because maybe they're able to play guys a little bit more. Luis Robert's able to get a little bit more rest. Andrew Vaughn's able to be out in left field a little bit less. Like that's where I wish the White Sox got a little bit better on the margins, improving Leury Garcia, improving Adam Engel, because clearly they don't trust him enough to start. Only 3 starts since the All-Star break, and with this team dealing with as many injuries they had, Luis Robert being out from the 12th to the 20th, Adam Engel, only 3 starts to the All-Star break is pretty shocking to me, the fact that they're just really not using him.
despite the air today, I think Adam Engel is a perfect fourth outfielder. He can play all three positions out there and give you quality defense out there. And yes, his bat is not shown up this year, but what he was doing last year was more than capable. And that's why I was like, okay, if they have a platoon out there in right field between him, Gavin, and Andrew Vaughn, I'll be fine with it to start the season. Not happy, but fine. Today and this year has been very, very disappointing for Adam Engel as far as White Sox fans are concerned. But coming into the year, I would not have said we need a replacement for Adam Engel as our fourth outfielder. I think he is the perfect guy when he is right and healthy and getting enough playing time. I mean, 3 games since the All-Star game, while they have a glut out there with Loy coming back and you have Vaughn playing well and then Sheets playing well, so hard to find Adam Engel any type of starting playing time, especially in these clutch games, he needs to catch that ball 100%. There's no excuses. Overrun, I don't care. Squeeze that ball, make the third out.
And Sean, I mean, not only what Herb said true, that, you look at the beginning, coming into this season, he seemed like that guy that would play that role really well because of what he had done with the bat in the last couple of seasons. But tonight, I don't think you want anybody else out in left field besides Adam Engel, because the whole reason he's on this team is to play defense. And so if you're going to get mad tonight that Adam Engel is in there and losing the game for the team, go ahead and get mad about that if he does something wrong with the bat. Tonight, you put him in there for the thing that he does excellently, and he didn't do it.
It's less about him being out
might
there.
Not be a word.
I wanted him to be out there. I didn't want Andrew Vaughn playing left field in the 9th inning. But it's more about what I wanted from this team at the trade deadline, and we talked about it just yesterday, so I thought I'd bring it up. It's depth, and today showing out here, Adam Engel as your fourth outfielder, that's, to me, for a team that wants to be where the White Sox want to be, that's not good enough for a fourth outfielder.
Sean, Adam Engel's their 6th outfielder. I mean, he really is.
I was counting. I forgot to count the first baseman.
Your 5th outfielder.
Aloy,
Robert. Yeah, no, 6th. Aloy, Robert, Pollock, Vaughn, and Sheets.
And you could probably put Lurie in there because
right,
he
but
plays more outfield than him.
Aloy couldn't play the outfield in Baltimore because of his knee injury and how big it was. They only put Andrew Vaughn out here in left because A.J. Pollock just played the first 2 games. Gavin Sheets was out in right, Robert out in center. So, I mean, and then Adam Engel, again, not trusted enough to start. Like, that's my point, is like they just don't have truly a fourth outfielder out there because Adam Engel's bat isn't good enough, and 2 of the 6 aren't outfielders. It's Gavin Sheets and Andrew Vaughn. You look at any defensive metrics, and they're at the bottom of what they do.
But if you're talking about in terms of let's put it this way: if in practice, which is what's happening here, because those 2 guys have played outfield and are outfielders on this White Sox team, whether folks like it or not, Adam Engel's your 6th outfielder. That's a deep outfield, and I'm not saying it's going to work because the White Sox record is what the White Sox record is. But basically what you're asking for is just for Adam Engel to not be on the team. Because they have 5 guys that play the outfield way more than he does in front of them, and that's something that a lot of teams don't have.
Well, I'm fine with Adam Engel not being on the team. I'd upgrade the depth, move him to AAA or get him off the team and upgrade that depth. I think that the White Sox, when we look at this team, when they're consistently playing with 24 men on their 26 roster because guys are hurt and not taking up injured list spots, that's what's going to frustrate me is the fact that the White Sox, the bench guys that they need to rely on, especially when they're thin, just aren't good enough. I've liked Adam Engel on the 2018 White Sox, the 2019 White Sox, the 2020 White Sox, the 2021 White Sox, but this is the 3rd straight year, supposed to be the 3rd straight year you go to the playoffs. This team, depth-wise, needs to be improved. Organizationally, I mean, AAA, AA, single A, major league, like something that this White Sox organization struggles with is depth, and they didn't upgrade it at all at the trade deadline. And that's what frustrated me the most. And it just kind of rears its ugly head at this point, a month away from the deadline.
I want to point out something Al had said earlier in the comments, Steven, where he's talking about Vaughn would have caught that ball. Well, Vaughn wouldn't have been there in the position to catch the ball because he doesn't have the speed that Adam Engel does. And secondly, if Vaughn is in that position and he drops the ball, guess who you, me, Sean, and Vinny are yelling at right now? We're yelling at Tony La Russa for having a fielder who can't field in left field when you have Adam Engel out on the bench. So, yeah, you can't have it both ways. Vaughn doesn't catch that ball at all. I just want to nip that in the bud. Like, you can't blame Tony for every single thing. Vaughn is not catching that ball at all.
People are pining for the days of Billy Hamilton last year, Billy Hamilton was on the team to do a very specific thing. He was on the team to run, and he was on the team to play defense. And it was a nice story when he got some hits and some home runs. And it was fun to talk to him when that happened because, you saw a guy who was getting some confidence back that he obviously had lost over the years. But contending teams have role players that do small things. The White Sox have not been a contending team this year, in part because so many of those role players have been forced to do a lot of things, not just one little thing.
Right.
It's a
depth issue.
I don't think you're looking at it the right way.
Okay.
I think the White Sox have a sixth outfielder who's really good at defense, and if they were a first place team, you'd say good thing they have that covered.
Right, but
the reason they lost the game is because the defense first guy didn't play defense correctly.
I understand your point. He's also the sixth outfielder behind 2 first basemen.
Again, you're mixing your complaints.
I don't.
It's bad writing to mix your metaphors. You're mixing your complaints right now.
I don't know. I just think if they make an upgrade there, who would that be? I mean, left fielders that were available. David Peralta. I think David Peralta probably catches that ball. David Peralta catches that ball and brings a better bat.
I think Adam Engel catches that ball 99 out of 100 times.
That ball. Exactly.
99 out of 100 times, I think Adam Engel catches that ball. That just happened to be the 100th time.
Right.
All right.
I'm not. He's a.
Does
really
AJ Pollock catch that ball? Let's go through the outfielders.
Maybe he probably does, but maybe.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. The point is you had the exact right guy in the position, and he screwed it up.
Yeah, he's at fault for that. And I want to say, too, like I said before, he made a mistake. It's up to Liam Hendriks to pitch over that mistake. He rolled a curveball, and Stowers murdered it.
Right,
so,
but also we heard right before that pitch or right before the pitch that Stowers fouled off, Steve Stone said, it looks like Liam's dealing with a blister. And we saw that Liam was missing his spots mostly with his slider and breaking ball throughout that entire at-bat. I'm not putting this on Liam, and I don't feel like you are. I understand Liam needed to make a better pitch in that moment, but you shouldn't have been even in that situation.
I do put it on Liam because the reality is he did drop the ball. There's no rewinding that. So now as a closer, I got to have the mentality, hey, bump that stuff. I got to pick my guy up. Here we go. Zzz. Throw it to the plate. He hits it. But it's his fault. That earned run goes, it's not an earned run because it's air, but that run goes to Liam's tally.
Run. No, give a home run.
No, it's error because of air. They would say he would have supposed to be out.
Because he got charged with an error for it, even though it was a strike. Okay, understood. My point was going to be, you're saying that they're failing Liam Hendriks by allowing him to pitch with something that might be bothering him on his finger. The guy has pitched with a torn UCL for the last 7 years.
I'm just saying, that's not the perfect situation for Liam Hendriks. Your left fielder just dropped the game ending out. You have a blister on your finger, then you go 0-2, and you obviously don't execute the pitch, but you don't execute the pitch because you have a blister on your finger. The guy with the blister on this finger wouldn't have to throw another pitch if the outfielder would have caught the ball.
Yeah.
That's my only.
Would have, should have, but play and win and do what
Liam Hendriks did his job. Adam Engel didn't.
We could rewind the game all the way back to the first and say Jose Abreu catch that ball.
Yes, which we can do, and we'll go through more throughout the game and after this ad break. But it sounds like you're going to Toronto next summer.
Oh yeah, she's doing things. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Courtney! Hope you enjoy Toronto next year, watching 2 good baseball teams in the Toronto Blue Jays and the San Diego Padres.
Get those passports in order now, guys.
I already got them. I got it this year for I have not used it ever.
Excellent.
Where are you guys going?
Toronto.
I didn't know if you had a plan to go somewhere else, but you were flying first class to San Francisco and shit. You're having a good time.
She books them now, so he gets them cheap.
Hey, it's not a bad idea. All right, got to let you know about PointsBet Sportsbook. They're counting down the days until football season with a new offer every day until the season kicks off. From now until September 8th, PointsBet's Power Hour will unlock a new daily offer from 12 to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sign up for the PointsBet Sportsbook now using code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And don't miss out on your chance to get daily access to free bets, boosted odds, and so much more now through September 8th. But that's not it. If you make a $51 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker when you sign up. Download the PointsBet app today and use code CHGO to take advantage of this limited-time offer. Don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. I do really recommend checking out the PointsBet Power Hour. They had boosted boosted odds on the USA Open today. I got boosted odds on the Tour Championship as well. So if you are looking for better odds to bet on, the Power Hour is your place to go until September 8th on the PointsBet app. Next, I have to tell you about OWYN, which stands for Only What You Need. OWYN is a 100% plant-based protein shake that gives you nutrition that works as hard as you do. All their products are free of artificial ingredients. They're allergen-friendly. There's no gluten or dairy, and they're easily digestible. When you are, I don't know, in the 9th inning, in Baltimore, in, what's it called? The opponent, in the opponent's home. It's a 3-2 game. Your closer's on the mound. There's 2 outs, and it's an 0-2 pitch. You're going to want all the energy you need to chase down that fly ball and make sure you're catching it with 2 hands. You don't want to be pulling an Adam Engel, so go buy some OWYN. Try the chocolate flavor. Try the vanilla flavor. Try the salted caramel flavor.
It's because the stuff that he was eating was not quite as easily digestible.
Right.
Maybe that was the problem tonight.
He ate a lot of crab before the game.
He had some more difficult to digest food.
Yeah, Tony was seen at a crab shack after the game last night, so maybe Adam Engel, and Tony sucking down some crab.
Crab is so good.
Crab is great.
It is.
It's just so good.
And you're getting it right from the source in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Mercy.
With some Old Bay, baby. Sounds great.
Tremendous.
And I first heard about OWYN not from Adam Engel or Tony La Russa, but from Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields, who follows a plant-based diet. So what are you waiting for? Check out OWYN, because OWYN and CHGO have partnered up an awesome offer for you. You can get 20% off your first purchase at liveowyn.com. That's LIVEOWYN.com. And with code CHGO20, you can get 20% off your first purchase at liveowyn.com. Join me and Justin Fields and try OWYN, only what you need. Sorry, Vinny.
I'm sorry, I stepped on you there.
You're fine.
I'll tell you. So I'll tell you guys where I go when I'm in Maryland for crabs. Mm-hmm. So you drive to Annapolis, or if you're in Annapolis, you can just be there. But drive to Annapolis, right on the river there. They got like this nice bar. You got to drive back in through the woods, but you sit down at the picnic table. They roll the brown paper out, dump the crabs down. Old Bay for days.
Very nice.
Tremendous stuff. The first time I went there, I came back and literally could not get the Old Bay out of my clothes. I had to wash them twice.
That's very nice.
So they put it in like a corn and like a.
You could
potatoes.
get the boil. We usually the 2 times that I've gone, we've just gotten the bucket of crabs dumped on the table. You crack them open. I got to relearn how to do it every time, because there's a way that you got to do it.
Is 1 bucket enough?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a lot.
A lot of crab.
Oh yeah, a lot of crabs.
Crab. Is it expensive?
A little, but not terribly.
How much
for what you get.
How much for a bucket?
I don't remember how much, but yeah.
Steven, do some producing and look up Jimmy's Crab Shack. I think that's where Tony La Russa went. Check out the price of a bucket of crab for us. Our guy Baseball Tossed said, sorry I'm late. I had to get Wendy's again to become happy. So if you can't do crab, maybe Wendy's is open.
It tastes great, even late. I'm a fan. Did you get a?
They're probably open. They're
Dave's
definitely
single?
still open.
Dave's double.
On the Chicago Sports Podcast.
I'm gonna go down there. Division. There's a Wendy's right there.
Oh baby, I love
Division
a Frosty.
Ashland, I believe.
Our guy Luke Stuckmeyer on the Chicago Sports Podcast today with Kevin Kaduk was trying to think of like weird concoctions, because they saw the Yankee fan drinking beer.
Ooh, that was bad. That made
out of
me
a
sick.
hot dog straw.
That made me a little sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, so Luke was thinking of ideas that are kind of grosser, like Hawaiian Punch with a Polish, right? But then our guy Greg Boyson from Blackhawks, the CHGO Blackhawks, comes in and says, "I dip my my Frosties or my fries in my Frosty."
Everybody
that's a
does
thing.
that.
People do that.
Everyone does that, Greg.
Everyone
That's
does that.
Not weird.
People do that.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't do that. I don't because I like fries, but I know people do that. Yeah.
Well, I know people don't like Wendy's fries.
No, they're good now.
They're good now.
They're good now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, so
crispy.
hey, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe
Much
Baseball
better.
Toss is inspiring me to get some Wendy's on the way.
Home of the crab bomb.
Okay, so this is
place sounds great.
Jerry's Seafood. Is this the place you went to?
No.
No, I go to a place in Annapolis. That's Cantler's Riverside. That's where I've gone.
Point.
This place looks like it might actually be in Baltimore.
We already talked about, in the first 20 minutes, we already talked about the Adam Engel drop fly ball and Luis Robert not swinging with both hands. Make sure to like the video if you can. We're just checking out some crab places right now, because things are, honestly, we're getting a little tense before
We
that
had to
ad
lighten the
break.
mood with some crab talk.
Tony La Russa was found, I'm trying to find this
Found?
picture. This was all over
It
Twitter
was in
yesterday.
Jimmy's seafood.
Yeah.
So
that's
you just
in,
got
that's in Baltimore.
Do you have
It's
a
famous.
crab bucket?
They probably
Yeah.
don't. They're
What did
probably
I have?
Famous.
I definitely got a bucket of crabs. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jimmy's seafood, that's like probably in the Inner Harbor, somewhere where he can just have a good, wholesome, healthy meal of crab, or crab cakes if he wants to. I had crab out there in Baltimore, right around from the National Aquarium. Really good. Like you said, Old Bay seasoning, nothing better than Baltimore crab.
Did you pull up Jimmy's famous seafood? Because that's where our guy was. So he was there at the crab cakes.
Steamed crabs, that's what you get.
Our guy Tony La Russa getting the steamed crabs over at Jimmy's.
That looks good.
They got market price. What can you read some off, Steven? You got a mic?
Yeah, they have sizes. So that you do the small, medium, large. You could do,
I can't read.
They have different sizes of crabs.
Luke McFadden steamed crabs, $35 to $180. I mean, that's...
We got enough people.
Do they just have a bucket?
Cheap.
They have a market size for a bucket of crabs?
2 dozen special, medium, large.
You get a dozen. You order them by the dozen.
Crabs, $125 for those.
That's not that bad, 125.
And
that sounds good. I would love some crabs.
Implore every White Sox fan to make a sojourn out to Baltimore, not only for the crabs, because they're delicious.
Mainly for the crabs.
But
Maine's
also
different. It's not in Maine. Baltimore's not in Maine.
But
Oriole Park.
Mainly.
Yeah. Oriole Park is excellent. Check it out. It's one of my favorite, top 5 for me at Major League ballparks. It's just a great experience. Cheap enough food, too. I think I got a hot dog, fries, and a drink for like $12.
What are you doing buying all that when you could go get some crabs afterward?
We already ate crab earlier in that day. We were there for one day.
That's a 2-crab meal when you're in Baltimore.
That was when Boog Powell was, sketchy to you, right?
No, I didn't go then. That's the year I was in San Diego, so Tanny and Brendan went without me. So, yeah, Boog Powell gave him some neighborhoods to avoid in Baltimore. That's a little sketchy over there.
Well, if you're looking for crab, check out Jimmy's. Thank you to Courtney for the super
has
chat.
had a few drinks.
She's giving away her Toronto vacation fund.
She's just waiting. She's just trying to give us enough money just to get Herb home. I think she just wants to hang out. Anyways, let's go back to Baltimore. You said check out Camden Yards. I'm sick of the place. After
it looks very nice.
I guess, but after what they did to the wall, 3 home runs now this series. Andrew Vaughn hit a double after leading off the game with a home run. I would have had a click to pick win here if we were, talking about a White Sox win. We don't do that after White Sox wins.
We play by their Randy Moss jersey rules.
Yeah. So Lance
players of the game only get handed out after wins.
Could you imagine being the guy that has to walk up to Lance Lynn tonight and be like, "Here's your Randy Moss jersey, Lance"?
I'm not sure. I'd want to do that after a win.
I think he'd bark at me.
And by the way, Daryl Van Schouwen says they spoke to Luis Robert. He says wrist was heavily wrapped postgame. This is a quote from Luis Robert. "It hurts a lot every time I have a bad swing. I have to deal with it," he said. "Consider taking yourself out?" He said no.
Take him out for him then. If it hurts that much, what are you doing? You held him out for 8 straight games, and now you're having him swing hurt in 2 consecutive games. This organization doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Luis Robert wants to take himself out of the game. Take him out of the fucking game. It doesn't matter if he wants to stay in the game. Put A.J. Pollock into the game. Put Luis Robert on the bench. He's hurting himself, and you're throwing up. It's basically suicide. Felix Bautista's throwing 100 miles per hour. That's going to hurt your hand no matter what. Even if you make great contact, barrel that ball up, that is going to sting. It's idiotic.
I agree, Sean.
I have no devil's advocate for you today.
That's fine. I like talking about crab. I like talking about crab way better than this. We can avoid the entire Luis Robert and wrist stuff because it's just going to make me more numb than I actually am. It makes no sense why this team is currently 63-62. There is no reason why they played 3 close games in Baltimore that they shouldn't have won at least 2 of them. It's ridiculous, this series. Their left field wall is absolute bullshit and doesn't make any sense.
Oh, now this rant is going off the rails now.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Baltimore.
Fuck Baltimore.
Wow. The Wire's not very happy.
Watch that damn show.
Wow, you should watch it. It's
Seems
great.
sad, just like the White Sox.
Oh, it is sad, but it's great. 34 hits this series for the White Sox.
How many runners left on base? They had. So when I checked this out, we checked this out, I think, in the 5th inning. I think the White Sox had 30 hits in the series and 31 runners left on base.
Apparently, according to this, they had 19 runners left on base today.
19?
That's what it says, cumulatively.
So 19 this one. They had 14 in the last one, 13. 46 runners left on base this series.
It's too many.
Yep.
That's a great conclusion.
Do you know who the leader of that was today?
Today?
Yep.
Jose.
Luis Robert, 5.
There you go. Yeah, we can go through some of the plays here. Andrew Vaughn led off the game with a home run.
Awesome.
Fantastic. If they want to have Andrew Vaughn be the leadoff hitter, that's fine.
We got a viewer who lives in Baltimore. Give us your crab place, man.
Ew, come on. Let's
go.
LaFleur, give us
He's like, I don't want to do tourists to come to my damn crab place.
You just said you hated Baltimore. I'm not going to be nice to you. The Sox do get a 1-0 lead on that leadoff home run.
Josh got you. You said that before the show.
Sean, oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I said that I was going to be looking up the Linkin Park lyrics, and then you said U2's version's better.
It is.
Lemon.
Yes.
You're not going to listen to Zooropa on the way home?
Me, absolutely not.
Come on. At least give All That You Can't Live Behind Us.
I don't know why you
I
guys...
had that on CD. That's when that's when U2 picked back up for me.
Okay, you said post Acton Baby. You weren't listening.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm not the world's biggest U2 fan to begin with.
Herb
So
and I
it's
are.
okay.
I mean, there's too much U2 hate in the world. They're getting close to Nickelback range.
No, I don't hate them. I just don't think
Nickelback
they're
range.
amazing.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
If you
Come
bring
on,
up
U2
U2,
is not bad as Nickelback.
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying.
You said
Like,
they're getting to Nickelback range?
they're getting to Nickelback range on social media. People are just like, oh, you bring up U2, oh, they're terrible. I hate Bono. I hate them. Just because they forced their music on your iPhone,
Once.
you hate them now. That
was a bad move, though.
Awesome music. And awesome concerts, too. I wanted to see them in 1996, I think, at Soldier Field. 1998 at United Center.
Mercy.
Awesome both times. They
U2's
run around that track all the damn
U2's
time.
got all my money.
See? Kind of cringe. Come on now, Sheba Doge.
U2 is a good band. The only reason people hate U2 is because their album was on iTunes, which is exactly right. Do we want to talk about U2 or do we want to talk about the White Sox?
This is much better than talking about the White Sox. I want to talk about some other great band from Baltimore.
I want to know where Bono goes for crabs when he's in Baltimore.
Do you know any Baltimore bands? Who Baltimore bands we got?
Yeah, Drew Hill.
I think Frank Zappa was born in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. But
You know
that
who
doesn't
Drew
really
Hill is?
count.
Cisco?
Drew Hill. No.
Cisco. Thong Song.
Oh.
He was in a band called Drew Hill. Not band, a group. They tell me what you want. Nothing?
I'm sorry.
Tell me what you need.
I'm not a huge Cisco guy, so you're really losing me on Drew Hill. Beach House for all you space pop fans. Some
Thank
dream
you,
pop
Lawrence.
fans.
Other Lawrence. U2 is amazing, Herb. Top 5 concert.
Right.
Correct.
I've gone to 5 U2 concerts, have not regretted it once. I have not gone to any Baltimore band concerts.
Doesn't sound like there's a lot of Baltimore bands to go to see.
Future Islands, Beach House, Animal Collective,
You would think there'd be a
Wild.
lot of punk bands coming out of Baltimore. Or the area.
I think
we're in D.C.
I was about to say, isn't what's his face? The guy from Foo Fighters,
Dave Grohl's
Grohl?
from D.C. Yeah.
He's not a Baltimore guy. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. $1.99 super chat. I think Robert shouldn't play against the D-backs from our guy Baseball Toss. Thank you very much for the super chat. What are we expecting? I think I'd be shocked by an IL stint.
Well, here's what I said to you during the game when we were watching this was you compared it to Larry Garcia, and
Right.
when he was just very visibly dealing with something every time that he was at the plate, every time that he was running in the out or on the infield and the base paths, and what happened the next day, he went on the injured list. So I don't think that'll happen with Luis Robert just because they've been looking at his wrist for a very long time now, and they would know what's going on with Luis Robert's wrist. That being said, when he's there telling you it hurts really bad, you'd think that something would come of that. I mean, it would only be in line with the way that they've behaved all year. And I'm not even saying that that's a bad thing that they've done, even though so many people have complained about it. They have been very proactive and very precautious in taking care of their guys and hoping that they can prevent further injury. You would think they would act the same way in this situation.
Well, apparently we got a question, and thank you to Baseball Toss who said, I sent a tweet to you, and he did. This is from Daryl Van Scowen, TLR on Robert. Have to be concerned about him getting hurt, having a swing like that. Maybe have to rethink that. Didn't replace him citing 107-mile-per-hour double play ball and a 370-foot fly out to center field. No, because when you see him for 3 days, when he gets one on the nose, he still belts it. So they are liking the results.
Observational analytics, as TLR likes to say all the time. So,
by the way, Tori Amos, not a band, Baltimore. So is Billie Holiday, apparently.
Okay, Billie Holiday is probably
all-time low also from Baltimore.
We can't
if
say
I'm going to be honest,
Billie
this
Holiday.
is a weak crop.
You couldn't say Billie Holiday, Tori Amos, and then all-time low.
That's what I got.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, contributing to the discussion.
And Snoop Pearson, too, from The Wire.
Knock it off.
Wire fans know who she is.
Can we talk about Luis Robert? Because this is ridiculous.
Go ahead.
We've been talking about him, but
I know,
go
but this TLR quote, I mean, is ridiculous. The observed analytics, like talking about the results of those hits, those happened earlier in the game. What he's showing you at the end of the game is that he's hurt. I don't understand this quote. Yes, he did hit a 107-mile-per-hour ball in the first inning. By the 8th inning, he couldn't swing the bat with 2 hands. I don't understand this.
Nothing you said right there is wrong.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, he thinks probably, hey, you took great swings early in the game. You should be fine at the end of the game. But I don't know if he gets an injection before the game and he feels good, or the cumulative effects of those swings wears his hand down at the end of the game. Because we saw at the end of the game, dropping the bat, swinging one-handed almost exclusively. So, yes, he should be doing better observational analytics if that's what he says that he does. Because Luis Robert, to all of us, was hurt early in that game.
He probably has to do observational analytics because A, Shelley Duncan is their analytics department head, and B, the White Sox have the least amount of people in their analytics department in Major League Baseball. They have 5 people in their analytics department in Major League Baseball. That is the least of any team, and it's sad and pathetic. That
what does this have to do with Luis Robert's wrist?
Well, you're talking about observed analytics. So, I mean, like, if we're talking about real analytics, I just haven't brought that fact up yet, so I'm just pissed off. I'm just being bitter.
Sean's just throwing all
You really
the
are.
complaints today. I like it. I like angry
I'm
Sean.
annoyed.
This is a spraying to all fields complaint session tonight for you.
See, this is the thing, Sean. I don't know. Like, I can feel your anger, and I wish I had anger now. It's gone. It's been melted away.
Sunshine.
Because I would think I would go crazy if I actually thought about this season and the expectations we all had for this team. And then on this, there's 37 more games to go. So we've played a lot of games. We've watched most of those games. I can't be angry necessarily at this team after a while. Like, they lost. Who cares?
I get that.
I just want the 37 games to hurry up and end.
And I don't blame you. And I feel like part of that came to me even last year, and I've talked about this, like just watching Tony manage in May of 2021, like just turned me off to watching this team. Then I got a job where my job is to cover the team in 2022. So just watching them, it's just been kind of the same mistake over and over again. And after 125 games, I guess I'm losing it.
I like it.
Because at this point, it is not too late to start complaining about this team. It's not too early. The White Sox aren't turning it around. And like I said at the trade deadline, the cavalry isn't coming. This team's uninspiring. They're so uninspiring that the team doesn't want to make offseason moves. They don't want to make trade deadline moves. They don't want to make even substitutions to get guys that are injured out of the game. It's brutal.
But watch this, Sean. The Twins are playing the Astros.
And they got
for 4
swept.
games, right? Or are they playing them to start with, or they just got swept?
They just got swept, I think.
Okay. So this weekend they have another tough team. The Guardians are in Seattle.
Yes,
Lost
and
the
they
first
lost it.
game. The White Sox are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks. Watch this shit happen where they get swept. The Guardians go out to Seattle, get swept, and the White Sox find a way to sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll be right back here, 1 game behind the Guardians. Like, yeah, let's go. We're back. And it's a whole roller. It's Vinny's thing. It's like, yeah, we're here. We're never going to go
That's
down
the
here.
worst roller coaster ever.
We're never going down here, which we would love this, the going down to 0. That would be awesome. But we're still here, and those people are going to be playing tough teams, and we're going to stay here because we're going to win some games versus the damn Diamondbacks. I guarantee they're going to win at least 2 out of 3 because that's what they damn do.
This worked last time. Let's take a quick points bet break and then come back because I have a point, and I wanted to make this point before the show, and I'm glad that you brought this up because I think it's going to connect some stuff. If you enjoy CHGO, one way to help us continue to grow is hit the like button. If you're watching now, hit that like button. It helps us each and every video. We know that you guys are always in here. Chirac Bobby, White Sox Tom, Jesus Shuttlesworth, Michael Herman, Shea Fidel, Raul Green. All you guys are in here hanging out, so make sure to hit that like button. We really do appreciate it. And the other way to help us continue to grow is to download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. Not only are you going to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000, but if you make a $51 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from a CHGO locker. If you have any questions, you can email pointsbet@allchgo.com. and we'll help you out. And in case you missed it, online sign-up is available in Illinois. You can download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. You'll be signing up with the fastest sportsbook, easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life in seconds. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Before we get into my point, I do want to go to the super chat down here from our guy Baseball Toss. He said, it's funny how Sosa does nothing in the big leagues and goes to AAA and rakes. Please fire Frank and get the AAA coach to the bigs. I think part of it, too, the pitching he's hitting.
Yes.
AAA hitting. He did hit a home run off of Jonathan Heasley, who is a 4A pitcher. And if you saw the home run that he hit tonight, a hanging curve, exactly like he hit in Kansas City. I think it's mostly about pitch selection, but hey, stay mad. I'm obviously staying mad. To continue your point, though, Herb,
Yep.
I kind of wish the Sox had this slow death. And you've talked about this before. Just put the Sox out of their misery. Right now, the Twins basically in 1 week went from a team in contention to the wheels falling off. After Tyler Mahle getting injured and shut down for the entire season, now Byron Buxton's dealing with an injury. They just got swept by the Astros. They're going to have to welcome in the Giants. Their pitching's falling apart, both their starters and their bullpen, and they're rarely getting any power from their lineup outside of a couple people, right? They're having a very, very fast, quick, painless death. The White Sox are going to drag this out. A full 162 games. It is going to be the longest, the slowest, and the most painful death in White Sox history. This season should not have been like this. The flip should have been switched at some point. We have not seen it, and with 37 games left, 125 games behind us, I don't see any life or any of it going to come through for the Sox. I really don't. After series after series after series, I thought I wanted to be hopeful. I was saying that they're going to be in first place by August 12th, and now by August 25th, 13 days later, I'm saying this. And I believe it, honestly. I don't think the White Sox will win the AL Central. I don't see them making a wild card. It's just the same mistakes over and over, and they just continue to compound themselves.
I mean, you're right. I think I laughed at your hyperbole there that it's the worst season in team history. That's probably not true.
2007.
But with the expectations,
there's only been over 140 of them or something like that.
2010.
1901 was the first one, so
there's been a bunch. There's been 120. Yeah, but no, you're not wrong, because what have we said all year when describing this team is like, they can do X, they can do Y, they can do Z, but we're not going to believe that they will do it until they do it. And here we are sitting looking at September coming down next week, and they haven't done it yet.
Right.
So, but again, I'm not saying there's reason for anybody to be hopeful or happy. I will say that the reality is that they are in a very weak division, and there was a good joke that somebody made there that said nobody's going to win the AL Central. It's just going to be the team that loses the slowest. That's kind of what it feels like.
I like
that's kind of what it feels like, no doubt about it. So, again, I'm not here to preach sunshine. There's no need for anybody to have sunshine. What I will say is that you could watch this to the end and maybe get an ending that you're not expecting, just because of the law, the law of percentages or whatever dictates math in the universe.
Right. And Herb, I hear your point too, where, the Sox now play Arizona in 3 games, and then they have 3 games against Kansas City. But the Johnny Cueto comment about fire was made after a Kansas City loss. They lost 2 straight against Kansas City to close out that last series. Then they won 5 straight, and the team's like, oh, hey, Johnny Cueto lit up this team with the fire comment. They're 2-7 in their last 9. I mean, I understand it gets good for a second, but it just goes back to the same shit over and over again. And just the same mistakes. And here's Luis Robert hurt again. And now I'm just questioning, will we be able to see him for 8 days, or will he just be on the bench? And will the White Sox be playing with 25 men? So, just frustrating.
The world's worst roller coaster has finally broken Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not
Can we get off of this roller coaster?
Get me off of this roller coaster that has no ups or downs.
Shocker. You can either enjoy the ride or be bitter, and I am not enjoying this fucking ride.
My guy Joe just said, why am I watching the White Sox? Am I a masochist? But yes, we've lived way too good of a life where we got to have some give back. So, we've had this job. It's great. It's my dream. And so my dream also becomes a nightmare where I got to watch this team play out the way it did this year. And as Vinny says, it's a roller coaster that has no ups, no downs. And we haven't seen a complete game And if we have, it's been fleeting where I can't even remember it, where your offense clicks, your defense clicks, your pitching is all on there. They've had few and far between of those games. So you can't even get excited. It's like, okay, there's the real White Sox. I see them. They're hitting home runs. They're pitching like they should, and they're closing out games as they should. Oh, yeah, I got it. That hasn't happened yet. I don't think in the 37 games they're going to find that. They have no light switch like that. So enjoy these next 37 games, Sean, while the White Sox sweep the D-backs and get 2 out of 3 versus Kansas City. They get right there like, here we go. The White Sox are coming again. And then they'll do something versus I don't know who they're playing after that. Somebody bad, and they'll lose games to them.
Because, as my dad always says, enjoy summer because soon it's going to be really damn cold.
They play the Twins after that.
We get to talk about White Sox baseball when it's really damn cold.
They got 9 games versus the D-backs, Royals, and the goddamn loser-ass, weird-ass Minnesota Twins. They better win 7 of them.
You'd hope that they'd win 7 of them.
What's the home run? Good job, Jose.
Yeah.
We saw one of those early in the game and should have saw another one after Andrew Vaughn hit that wall.
And I like Andrew coming in. How the fuck did the dude miss the ball? He had one job. Andrew joining a little bit late. I appreciate
I love
that.
Andrew.
We love Andrew here. We do want to get to more great news. Yohan Moncada left the game. I guess it's not great news after checking facts. Yohan Moncada injured himself after trying to field a bunt. He got up, made a great play, got the out,
Tremendous
but then
play.
Looked like he pulled up on his hamstring. He stayed in the game, but then got removed after the top of the 5th, going into the bottom of the 6th. They came out of commercial. We saw Josh Harrison at third base. Romy Gonzalez came in. Left hamstring. So not only are the Sox dealing with Luis Roberts' wrist hurting, but Yohan Moncada gets injured as well.
It's this team snake bitten. You do a great play last night, Yohan Moncada. You get 2 hits today. You think, okay, he's turning the corner, maybe. Nope. He awkwardly either misses a bat or steps on a bat that the bunter lays on the ground and tweaks his hamstring. So I hope that he gets the proper rest to get back 100% healthy or 100% of what he has left instead of the regular thing where, Yohan's day to day and you won't see him for 5 days and then he gets down to the 6th day and then you know he's not healthy 100% and he's could have been on the IL for 10 to 15 days and had him back fresh after those 10 to 15. I just wish the White Sox would handle this and all the injuries a little bit better.
And hopefully this one isn't a long-term injury for Moncada because his defense at third base, I mean, I think Steve Stone mentioned it, he could have won a Gold Glove just on his defense alone in the Baltimore series. So that's been great to watch. And if the White Sox have to deal with Luis Robert going down and Yohan Moncada going down, it might be the final blow for the Sox.
And no Tim Anderson, and no Yasmani Grandal.
Michael Kopech.
Michael Kopech, snake bitten.
Jeez, yeah.
This is what this season is, snake bitten.
Snake bitten for sure. We got a couple more things to get to. Final quote from the game. Darryl Van Schouwen again out in Baltimore talking to Liam Hendricks. Hendricks said, "That was completely on me with the pitch selection, throwing the curveball. It was a pitch that I very rarely throw in the zone, and unfortunately I hung that one, and he got it. It's never a good feeling, but especially in a game like today, we were grinding through, we were down, and we were able to take that lead late. My job is to come in and close the door, and I wasn't able to do that." So Hendricks at least kind of talking about what you were talking about, Herb.
Yep, and Clark Reamer says Burger time, but you said that Burger got hurt in AAA.
Yeah. Burger just got hit in the hand with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball, and he's on the injured list in Charlotte.
I'll tell you this. Abraham Garcia might have hit the nail on the head with what has bothered the White Sox this year. They had the curse of the Billy Goat on the north side. I think the White Sox might have the curse of the giant goose head on the south side.
Ooh,
did it?
They couldn't honk,
No honking this year.
Oh, man.
Abraham bringing it home.
Bring that goose back.
Bring the goose back. Final thing that I want to get to you is from Yasmani Grandal. Shocker, it's Darryl Van Schouwen out in Baltimore talking to all these players. In his notes section for the Chicago Sun-Times, this is Grandal on Wednesday saying, I just take it as it comes right now. Whatever happens, happens. I never really taken care of myself as much as I've taken care of myself this year. So from now on, shit it.
No.
Crap it.
Nope.
Darn it.
Are we playing profane bop it over here? Is that what's going on?
We're playing guess the
Bop
swear.
it. Pull it.
So from now on, fuck it. That's pretty much the only way I can explain it. Want to go until it breaks. And if it doesn't break, then we keep going. So the White Sox are relying on a guy who's just saying, fuck it, for the rest of the year and the rest of his contract. I love the idea. I'm not hating the mindset because the only thing he can do is play. So fuck it. But that just really does concerned me that the cavalry that is coming is Yasmani Grandal. That's like, it might break.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
What else is there to do? I took that as I'm playing balls to the wall. I don't give a fuck.
Right,
Like,
absolutely.
Just, hey, if I get injured, I get injured. But no more 75%, no more 85%. I'm putting balls to the wall. I'm seeing fastball, hitting fastball. If I strike out, I strike out. But that's what their approach should have been at the beginning of the year. As I've always said, the games in April count as much as the games in September. So you should have been doing your work early so you didn't have to do your homework in September. You could have been out playing with your friends on Sunday night instead of struggling like me, doing homework and Monday night homeroom classes.
Poor Herb.
Wow, that was some PTSD just happened
Herb was
right
an
there.
asshole back then. He didn't do homework at all. God,
man.
what a jerk.
You do your homework now?
No, I'm kidding. I watch these videos. I watch these shows after every show.
You give me all the timestamps.
Give me the timestamps.
You do a great job getting that in early. I don't know. Yasmani Grandal, I understand your point. Like, playing as hard as he can. I'll wait for the injuries to come. But I guess my concern is it doesn't sound like, a guy who's been injured this entire year, dealing with as much as he's dealt with. Probably like, how much can you actually rely on the guy that's saying, fuck it? Like,
Well,
I
I
love
think
the attitude, absolutely, from Yasmani Grandal, but I'm just concerned that he might get hurt in the first game he comes back.
I think what you're seeing is some frustration. A guy who thought he was doing everything right, and he's still had the bad luck of going out in there and getting injured. And sometimes that just happens, and it sucks. But that's baseball, and that's life. And so I think you're seeing a guy who's like, you know what? I've tried to do everything the right way. Now I'm going to go play baseball, the way I know how to play baseball, because it's a guy who's had a very successful career. Yep. And injuries have gotten in the way of him being able to replicate that during his time with the White Sox, especially this year. So he's going to come back, it sure seems here, for the last, little bit of this season. Probably going to get Tim Anderson back for the little bit of this season here. You're probably going to get Aaron Bummer back for the last little bit of this season. Michael Kopech is probably the same way. So you're going to see these guys who have had to deal with playing strategically throughout the entire year to make sure that they're healthy enough to play at this time of year. The luck has not gone their way, and I think Yasmani's attitude there might have to go team-wide if they're going to try to make this up in order to again, they shouldn't be trying to go out there and play foolishly and get hurt, but like Yasmani said, they did all the right stuff, and it hasn't paid off. So they've got to go out there and try to play baseball the way they know how to play it, not the way that they think they should in order to prevent certain things from happening.
And I agree, Vinny. This team leads in a little bit more of some fuck it attitude throughout the roster.
Well,
if we get some more fuck it, I'm in.
We heard Johnny Cueto say, I forget which game, but fuck it, let's compete.
Yeah. Throw it all out there. Try to hit home runs. Like, purposely try to hit home runs. I know that's not a recipe for success, but you've been trying to not hit home runs and trying to just do it with your bat, natural swings, and that shit hadn't happened. It's 104 home runs in the year? Hell, just try to go for the downs every time.
Right. And let's maybe take something positive from this. Andrew Vaughn had a good game, and before the game, he spoke to reporters out in Baltimore and said everyone steps in the box the same way, downplaying the significance of his first leadoff experience of the majors, and continued by saying, hopefully get the party started for the boys, and hopefully we win today. And Tony La Russa said about Andrew Vaughn leading off, just do your thing. He did his thing by hitting a home run in his first at-bat and then hitting a ball that would have been a home run in 29 parks out of 30. You could probably guess the one that it wasn't a home run in. He had a double off the wall. So maybe they take some of that fuck it attitude from Johnny Cueto and Yasmani Grandal and Andrew Vaughn, just do their thing. Hopefully they're able to turn around and start hitting some home runs here, but I'm not sure. There was one quote, too, from Mike Petriello about the Dodgers and what they've done well, and I just thought it was really fitting for the White Sox. No team has hit fewer ground balls than the Dodgers because ground balls do not win game. In fact, no team had a lower ground ball rate than the 2022 Dodgers since pitch tracking came online in 2008. They chase outside the zone less than anyone because they're not crushable pitches, which is sort of their thing. 4 of the 6 lowest chase rates on record are recent Dodgers teams, but not even this Dodgers team is in that top 6. So, I mean, it's been impressive to see what the Dodgers done. Obviously, they've been fantastic for years and years and years, but looking at the White Sox, where they go wrong is basically the ground ball rate and the out-of-swing rate. In 2020, the ground ball rate was 45.4%. The out-of-zone swing was 34.1%. This year, the ground ball rate pretty much the same, but the out-of-zone swing a little bit higher, 2% higher, but they're making more worse contact. The contact rate's up at 76.7%, but the hard hit rate is down to 29%, and they're walking less. So they're not getting on base via the walk. When they're making contact, it's not as hard as it was, and they're grounding out as much as they usually do. So, you can just see that's where the Sox are going wrong. And, 11 of the hits today, 9 of them were singles.
And that second column explained it all. I think everything else that you saw there is a result of that second column. And, as much as people are casting blame on Tony La Russa and Frank Menachino for the offensive woes this team has now had for 5 months, that's what they say they're not doing correctly. That's what they say the team is doing too much of, and it filters throughout everything because it is all connected. You don't swing at pitches outside the zone. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make the pitchers throw you a pitch that you can hammer. The White Sox do not do that.
And the Dodgers, as you see, last 50 games, 41-9.
Jesus.
Just on a fucking tear.
It's a lot of wins.
Yeah. The White Sox barely have 41 wins.
White Sox can't even win 9 games straight. No, I mean, they had an 8-game losing streak, right? But I don't even think they've even had a 9-game losing streak or a 9-game winning streak. I mean, what's the most they've won in
that? You don't have the world's worst roller coaster ride if you are doing anything in 9-game bunches. Come on now.
That's very true. That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox post-game show. I know Lawrence wants to do his little crab bit with Tony. Yeah, we'll throw it up here. There's Tony in a crab bib.
I wish I was wearing a crab bib right now. That
it
means I'd
great.
have some crab.
Maybe you can go home and find some on your way home, up or down 94.
Red Lobster.
You think right now in the city of Chicago there's some crab places open at 11:45 on a Thursday night?
Lawrence Fisheries is always open, I think, until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Go there to Archer. Delicious crab.
Archer or Canal?
Canal. Sorry. I've
some fresh caught Lake Michigan crab.
Oh, some delicious lake trout. Yeah, Lawrence Fisheries is delicious. Named after my last name.
Oh.
Family.
So that's a plug.
It's not mine. I wish it was, because I would have a lot more catfish in my life.
The one out in Lombard's closed, but I don't think you're going to the one out in Lombard.
No one's going to Lombard.
I'm trying to find
There's a Lombard today, Herb. Come on now.
Oh, it's open 24 hours.
Steven, our producer, big suburbs guy.
I love the suburbs.
He just loves the suburbs.
Anti-city pro suburb.
Huge.
You're in the minority there.
You know what
Steven.
It was easy for me today? Finding parking.
Congrats! I have a garage spot. Steven, come on.
You know what I'm having a difficulty time finding? Your sleeves. All right, put on sleeves.
Big talk,
not that hot in
big
here.
talk from the tank top guy over here.
Seriously. All right, well, let's go get some crab at Lawrence Fisheries. We'll talk to you on Sunday when the White Sox take on the Diamondbacks at Guaranteed Rate Field. They will be playing the Diamondbacks tomorrow, Saturday, and on Sunday. The Sox will have Elvis night tomorrow. It's Elvis Andrus' birthday, so happy birthday to Elvis Andrus. And we will talk to you on Sunday, 12:30 pregame show, 1:10 game. Dylan Cease versus Zach Davies, so it should be a fun one. Join us there.
Oh, yeah, I just talk shit about the suburbs. I'll be in the suburbs the whole goddamn weekend. St. Charles and Lisle.
Enjoy.
Like I lost the war. I'm kidding. It's great. It's great. I love the suburbs. I'll be there in like 2 years.
You're never going to want to leave now.
We'll be there in 2 years.
Boy. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's a CHGO White Sox beat writer. You can follow Suburb Herb on Twitter.
Subherb. That's perfect.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's a CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you to everybody for hanging out with us in this live chat. It is great to have therapy sessions with you guys after each and every White Sox loss. Thank you to Fleetwood Mac for their 1979 album Tusk. Thank you to Steven for producing the show. We will talk to you on Sunday. Good night.